da ƙasa ta Najeriya.
Another batch of repentant combatants passed through the touch of self-conviction with a promise not to participate in any activity that is counter to the unity of the country.
Reflect back, I see that what I'm doing is not good. That is why I felt to just repent to the Almighty God and leave what I'm doing. It's better for me to stay in peace with everybody.
These are the 390 individuals who have entered the walls of Operation Safe Corridor through Nigeria's non-kinetic approach, which started in 2015 and its operation stretching beyond the northeast.
Go through a well-structured de-radicalization, rehabilitation, and reintegration program.
The process saw through the transformation of these individuals that are ready to partake in nation building.
I'm confident that based on the therapeutic interventions this set of clients have undergone under the proficiency and watchful eyes of the local treatment team, as well as the Big 5 infantry tools that was administered to them, they have been inculcated with positive virtues.
However, the stories of resurgence of activities of these groups are begging for answers if the program is relevant in tackling insurgency.
We need to redouble our efforts. If you go to sleep, even if your enemy doesn't want to attack you, he will attack you. And so the military is doing very well. The various agencies are doing very well. The state governments are collaborating with everybody. But we need to double our efforts.
Prayer that as we reintegrate them into their respective societies, they will use whatever they have gained here for the benefit, for their own benefit and also for the benefit of their communities.
Meanwhile, more federal government agencies such as the National Emergency Agency have joined in the fight through the non-kinetic approach.
At the point of their reintegration into the society, so the National Emergency Management Agency comes in and provides the necessary relief, which will serve as a support for them and their families before they are able to get a source of livelihood and then get properly settled in their various societies.
For the stakeholders, the country's non-kinetic approach is working and needs the support of all stakeholders to tackle issues of insurgency, banditry, and youth aggressiveness in the country.
We have chosen to say the truth. Even if we are going to die, let us die and let tomorrow appreciate what we said. And so, as far as I'm concerned, the federal government is complicit. The day they want this insurgency to finish, it will be done. Actively, they are working with Turkey, they are working with Saudi Arabia, they are working with everything to Islamize. But the real agenda is to take over Nigeria. And all these insurgents that you see happening is from Mauritania, is from Senegal, is from Cameroon, is from all over the place, trying to ensure that the indigenous people of this country do not have a say, but the Fulanis have a say. We are not against Fulani people. In government here in Benue State, I have Fulani people who are in my government. I have no issue about Fulanis, indigenous people. Everybody in this country, Nigeria, comes from somewhere. Even the Tiv people, where I govern today as governor, they come from somewhere. But we have settled. Today, because of the rise in population, there is nowhere you can say that the Tiv people or Benue people should leave Benue State to go to Cameroon. Where is the land? To go to where? Where is the land? And so this is the main problem that we're having in this country. If this government will appreciate and stop deceit against the people, we shall all work as a team. Nigerians, wherever we come, let us cohabit and live together. But where a particular ethnic group wants to take over the country and make some of us slaves, I can never be a slave to anyone. It is better I die and not be alive. I cannot be a slave to any Fulani man. Fulani should live their life. The Tiv people should live their life. The Yoruba people should live their life. Hausa people should live their life. Every other person should live their life. But not making me your slave.
What we must understand is the Fulanis are intentional in their conquests. They can never be mistaken for it. And I'll give you a proof. The Fulanis are intentionally with Islam, jihadism, conquest, conquering people, taking people's land. They are not shying from it. El-Rufai, Bashir El-Rufai, the son of Nasir El-Rufai, who we can as well say he is Malam El-Rufai spokesperson, came out and said that any man that dares challenge a Fulani man will be unalived. He said this and he mentioned a specific region in this country. He said Southern Kaduna will be wiped out because they continue to kill, to unalive Fulani elders.
And he was not called for questioning.
I have told you that these people are intentional. And they became intentional the very first day Usman Dan Fodio stepped his foot into Nigeria. In 1804, he told them, he gave them a marching order. He said, listen, Nigeria is your estate. So therefore, you must take power. When the British were about to go, the British saw the intentionality of the Fulanis. He said, listen, guys, you have to occupy the Nigerian military, you have to occupy the Nigerian Air Force, you have to occupy the Nigerian police force. Because we know that you people are intentional about power. Have you checked the records? Before you count one Yoruba man, you don't count 10 Fulani man. Before you count one Igbo man, you don't count 30 Fulani man. So, when 30 elders who are uneducated on a large scale, but wielding an AK-47, tell me what your pen wants to do. They go, don't buy you finish before you go talk, say you be educated man. The Nigeria contraption has been tailored, fashioned, okay, to benefit these people. And that is why a man has just been sentenced to death. You know his offense? A Fulani man with a cattle invaded his farm. He saw the man. He said, "Hey, what did you do for there? You didn't chop my corn." He started fighting the guy. Then the Fulani man brought out a cutlass. As he wanted to cut the guy's head, the guy dodged it, collected the cutlass in self-defense, unalived the Fulani man. All of this was well taped and recorded. The Nigerian judiciary system said that that guy should not have defended himself. That if at all, he should have run away, allowed those cattle to eat the corn.
Agencies before, that if they want peace, Mayetiala must be arrested. These are people who have owned up. They have taken responsibility that they have killed, they maimed, they rape, and do all sorts of atrocities. And yet their leadership is in Abuja, and nobody is confronting them. And until these people are arrested, when I talk, I was being castigated. I was being vilified. Nothing bad that was not said against me. I am this and that. But the reality is here. It is not just happening to Benue State today. It is happening to the entire country. Why is the federal government being silent about this Fulani men? When will the federal government come out and criticize and arrest herdsmen carrying AK-47? When are they going to do that? Are we second citizens in this country? What gives Fulani man superior to any other person, to a thief man? I am not their slave. A Benue man is not a slave to any Fulani man in this country. And so federal government must do this. At a point in time, the federal government came out with a policy through the police that even those with license, den guns, double barrel and pump action should surrender to police. How many times have the presidency come out to condemn that Fulani men are carrying AK-47 all over the place? This is not correct. We stand for justice, equity, and fairness. Whatever is happening to a Fulani man should also happen to any other person. That was why I called the federal government to license me and many others to have guns, to have AK-47 too. Because if I have my AK-47, a Fulani man is coming there, he knows that I have, and he has. Then we can fight each other. But you can't disarm me and arm a Fulani man. This is the point. So this is not right. The federal government is biased, is unfair. The failure in security is caused by federal government. This question of raising those who oppose to Fulani men. I also heard about the press statement issued by the presidency when the governor of Ondo issued a 7-day ultimatum that the Fulani should leave the forest. The presidency came out swiftly and said that it is wrong for him to say that. But when people are killed in Benue, killed in Ondo, killed in Ekiti, killed in Taraba, killed in Jigawa, killed in Zamfara, killed in all these places by these herdsmen, and they come out, there is one Fulani social cultural organization called FUNA, who came out and claimed responsibility and said that they are going to do more. They will mobilize Fulanis from all over the place to come and take over Nigeria, that it is their ancestral land. Presidency did not say anything. But they quickly ordered the arrest of an activist who stood up to speak and to work against his people. What else will you do? When you see your people being killed, you see your people's farm being razed down, being eaten off by herdsmen, what else will you do as a patriotic person of that community? What else will you do? It's just the same thing. The World Terrorist Index have described Fulani as the 4th terrorist group in the world. But up to today, they have not cared, the federal government have not cared to declare herdsmen as terrorist organization. And they have gone further to form Mieti Allah, Cattle Hore, Mieti Allah, cattle breeders, Mieti Allah, this one, Funam, that one. And federal government is romancing with them. And federal government comes out to defend them. Anything time something happens to them. But when they cause pains in the lives of other people, federal government will keep quiet. Federal government have gone ahead to ban iPod. Why can't they ban? What did iPod do?
And executed. So does it mean the North know Islam more than the Yoruba?
No, that is fanatical Islam. Even Saudi Arabia that they say that they are looking up to, they've left those kind of Islam. That's why I see footballers like Ronaldo going there to play football. Christians are welcome to open hands in Saudi Arabia. They are even a very good partner to USA. You understand? So their version of Islam is very, very, very violent. And you are saying that you are following Islam. Okay, look at Saudi Arabia, look at Qatar, look at Kuwait. They are following the same Sharia law that you are talking about. Look at how developed they are. Now look at your own region.
But let me bring this angle. How do we differentiate between a people's culture and religion? I can see that even in the North, that the major problem they have is they mix the religion with the culture.
Yeah, but let's be serious here. Culture is religion is part of culture. That's why let me give an example. If you see a man wearing suit and it's only the Quran in Nigeria coming to preach to you, you would first think that is a pastor. If you see another man wearing jalabia, put something on his head, if he holds a Bible, you think that he's a Muslim cleric. So you cannot really differentiate between culture and religion. But then you can move forward if you know the essence of your religion. You understand? Look at Yoruba family. Yoruba family, like my family, Muslims, majority Muslims, Christians. You only say Yoruba family, you would see a Christian. Our president, Tinubu, his wife is till today, I mean, the first lady, as a pastor in the redeemed, that means like a pastor.
Let me quickly come in here. Why is it that in the North, they say Boko Håram, Haram meaning forbidden,
yes,
that Western education is sin. But in the West here,
yes,
they do not see Western education as a sin, and it's the same Islam.
That's what I'm saying. So now they are using that Islam, fanatical Islam, to keep the people poor. Okay, look at it. The elites in the north, they are sending their children to school, take it or leave it. Their children are in school, but the little children, you have given them al-majiri. Al-majiri comes from the word from al-muhajirun, people that went on a journey with Muhammad then. So you don't to al-majiri, you are giving children 10 naira every day. You are not allowed them to go. Your own children are going to school. In the west here, in Yobe land, even in support of Edo that they are Muslims, so you compare and contrast. In 2001, they introduced Sharia law in Zaf under Obasanjo then. 12 other states, they start cutting people's hand. People that are stealing billions of naira in the north, have you ever cut their hand before? Somebody steals a bread, you cut his hand. Somebody steals a gari, you cut his hand. Somebody steals 20, you cut his hand. Someone that steals 20 billion, you are celebrating him. It's going to Mecca. Is that, you know, that is question? Is that Islam? Look at, like I said, Saudi Arabia. Look at Kuwait. Look at Qatar. Look at them and compare with the northern part of Nigeria. So their form of Islam is not the acceptable form of Islam. You, for example, we take our culture first, ahead of religion.
Okay, now let me bring this angle because we have seen serious level of insecurity in the country.
Yes.
And if you look at the angle it comes, talking about Fulani militia, why is it that we don't see Yoruba militia and we only see Yoruba Muslims? But we only see Fulani militia. So why is it like this?
All these things are political subjugation. You see that they are not fighting for any God. These are just for power and for politics. Under Jonathan, they made the mass government ungovernable. Jonathan had to say that in my book, in my government, he said it openly. Okay now, Jonathan built schools for them in the north. Al-Majiri school. Jonathan abandoned South where it come from, Niger Delta, where there is oil. He abandoned literally Otoke, abandoned Delta, abandoned rivers, abandoned these places where there are oil. He was building schools for, which is good for the Almajiris in the north. After Jonathan left power, the children later go to that same school. No, they won't allow them to go. Because now let me tell you, this now there is a man from the north who said the people that are calling their hair militia, they are not S-men. There are no cows. Pastor Matthew, let us think outside the box. You cannot see a man and say face by face you, and that same man has a Megan. How can you be rearing cow and have a K-47? Let us think like a human being. That means there is a sinister motive by these people, but people cannot see it and they are not seeing it.
Okay, now let us just support this with the recent claim in Plateau, talking about Bokos and Bassa, where the governor talking about Mufwan have already said this is genocidal Fulani invasion. Do you subscribe to the position of the government? It is genocide.
100%. These are not. You can't see. I look at it. How do I put it? Little by little, they are decimating the Christian community in Nigeria, in the North Central, taking over their lands, destroying the churches. But in that part of Plateau State, there is a good mineral resources there. Take it or leave it in the ground. So now, you say you are Fulani S-men, you say you are Fulani militia. What are you doing? You are taking the life, executing people, taking their lives. And look at Uwami. When 16 people were killed in Uwami, personally, I don't support your justice. But then, now listen, everywhere, all over Nigeria, people were shouting. Atiku Abubakar was talking. Podcaster was talking. Where 16 hunters were killed. I don't know what hunters were doing with guns in that people's village. That's one side. But now, 51 more people have been killed in Bokos. The people that are talking then, they have kept quiet. What does that tell you about your country? Are we only one? That if a part of Nigeria, people are being killed there, and there's an uproar, and that part of Nigeria, people are being killed, and there's definitely silence. What does that tell you about the so-called one Nigeria? That's why every day I think it's the
fact that there's nothing like one Nigeria, if I may ask.
There's nothing like that. We are just see. My father always tell me, if you are deceiving, you don't deceive yourself. I don't deceive myself. That's why at every time I tell people who I am first a bad person from Ogun State. Then a Yoruba person, but it's not my turn. From an Egba clan to Yoruba. Then
how can an Egba man become the obedient spokesman?
I look at the capacity, competence, and the commitment of the man that to me that if not for IRF, if not for the glitch, that nonsense, that would have been declared the president of Nigeria, and then that our country may have been part of the Committee of Nations. Here you have a president that people respect. But look at where we are today. So when it comes to tribalism and religious intolerance, I'm not part of it. I don't believe in that. I believe in humanity. Like I always say, a cow cannot be an Igbo person, a goat cannot be a Yoruba person, a dog cannot be a Fulani person. You must first be a human being before you belong to any different tribe. So I believe in that the fact that if you're a human being, if you're a good person, good. If you're a bad person, you're bad. I don't do religion, I don't do tribe. So 2020 election to me, my best, even till now, today, the best position. I'm talking about President Matia to today that they have declared interest is still Peter Obi. I have no apology about it.
Let me drag you to the entertainment arena called Political Arena.
Okay.
Idris Abdulkarim sang a song asking Sheikh Tinubu to go after his father,
which is good,
about insecurity, about economy, and all the areas of maladministration in Nigeria. Before you know it, NBC, Nigerian Broadcasting Commission, had the mandate to regulate media, ban radio station, television station from airing it. Though Very Dark Man have already invited Idris, that there is need to do a remix that is prepared to dance in that remix to draw the attention of the president to Nigeria's predicament. Where do you stand in all of this?
No, the song is in the right direction. Under Abbas is his song, Nigeria, and nothing that this one is now beyond and when you look at the environment, look at everything, it is true. Look at the amount of FX $1 to in Naira. Look at how Nigerians are able to feed. Look at the level of poverty, of suffering. Look at how many Nigerians are able to pay their house rent. Look at how Nigerians look at the insecurity. Like I said, in my language, say that only can talk about. If you say that it does not concern me, it's my concern those that are closer to you. The insecurity is everywhere. The militias, they don't even care who you are. Ondo, Ekiti, Ebonyi, Enugu yesterday. They have gone everywhere. Benue, Plateau, they don't care.
But in the light of the statement that came from Ajayi, talking about the Director General of GSS,
yes,
asking that communities should be the first line defense in the case of invasion. He cited 2 communities in the north. He cited Kafa Balewa local government and a community in Bauchi. How they were able to successfully repel invaders. Do you think that's the way to go?
That's the way to go. Okay. When I saw that statement, that means everybody find a way to defend yourself. And I was telling my Yoruba people, till today, that's what I like Yoruba. We are Muslims, we are Christians, and again, Yorubas are national worshippers. Now, if it is Shango, Olukoso, any Fulani,